I love it.
What do you want with your sandwich?
I can't believe like the police haven't like ended her yet.
With my sandwich.
I mean, there's an
I'm gonna have
immediate,
unhinged
obvious
I'm gonna
number
have
one.
such unhinged answers.
What do you want with your sandwich?
Motherfuckers
Okay.
really put another sandwich.
And I
That's my
picked it.
favorite
And I
answer.
picked it. And I picked it.
That's in my top 3. I think people are probably picking another sandwich or
I
something.
think it's another
It's
sandwich.
fucking soup.
Average British group playing this game. What the fuck you mean baked beans is not number one, man? What do you mean?
Another sandwich.
man.
Your blessings.
I do not, but
You think it's soup?
I'm only one man.
I realize though, as I approach middle age, I have to get better at quipping with strangers. You always gotta have like, let me give you an example, okay? I was raking leaves on Saturday. 70-year-old man walked by me. I deferred to him. I showed respect. I stopped raking. I said, hey, good morning. He said, good morning. Then he looked at me and said, you missed a spot. Now it's funny because the whole fucking yard was covered with leaves. That's the joke. And I didn't have a comeback. My comeback was like, yeah, I think I missed a few. Have a good day. Because I was like, that was me resigning from the interaction. I'm like, man, I gotta build up like a dictionary of that shit. You missed a spot. That's a good one. Of course, my asshole, I'll probably try that. It's like Curb Your Enthusiasm, right? I'll walk by his house and be like, hey, how's it going? By the way, you missed a spot. And he'll be like, I have a big yard, dude. I've been doing this for a long time. You know, my son was supposed to help me out with this, but I guess he's too busy. And oh, fuck. Sorry. You ever see the map of all the private jets leaving the Super Bowl? Makes me feel weird about recycling my cardboard. I can understand that. I mean, every time I go to my in-laws' house, I'm tempted to the dark side. People think that the dark side is like Sam Smith singing a top 40 song while wearing an outfit that looks weird. The dark side for me is every time I go to my in-laws' house and they just throw all their recycling into the garbage, and then whenever the big garbage bag gets full, they put it in the can at the end of their driveway. That shit seems so easy. I've got like in-unit sorting. I put the cans in one thing, and then I got to separate cans from glass, and then I have Tetra Packs go in another thing, and cardboard goes in another thing. Big boxes go in another thing. I got compost. I got garbage. I'm taking it all down, doing the punishment of Atlas. Like every time I go down to the garbage room, some old lady's looking at me down there. She's like, you put a Tetra Pack in the cardboard. That's not cardboard. That's paper. People are taking turns coming over to me and pushing me over. Well, one person puts their foot behind my leg, so when they push me, I fall down, and then they're kicking me in the ribs, saying, learn the rules, learn the rules. Just buy more shares. Listen, I don't want to get into it, but I did. These fucking losers, man. I'm so sorry, but you're going to agree with me, so I have to lay it on thick regardless, because it's also my honest opinion. I saw someone it got tweeted into my feed algorithmically that was like, only people who follow the mainstream media can't see that the X corporation is going to like IPO for 2x what Elon bought it for next year. And then someone said like, obviously a blue check replied. It was like, I love X so much. I want it to IPO so I can buy X stock using the money I made posting on X. And I'm like, you are a fucking idiot loser. Your whole life is dedicated to glorifying the company formerly known as Twitter. Like, you need to find some meaning in your life. That's crazy. Spend all day posting like, one of these gotta go. Goodfellas, The Godfather, Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief, Aragon. And then making $75 a month on X, using it to buy like a fractional share of a public stock that doesn't even exist yet. Plus, you're going to buy the shit at IPO. It's going to drop like 80% in the first 6 months. I think if you are if you're 25 or older and you're not addicted to something, something's wrong with you. Now, some of the things you could be addicted to might also mean something's wrong with you. The obvious one is like, hard drugs. You gotta, or even soft drugs. You gotta sort that out. obviously. But like League of Legends is another one, but the people aren't ready for that conversation quite yet. But like, I kind of don't trust someone if they're like 30, if they're, let's just say they're my age. If they're 34 and they're not addicted to either caffeine or sugar or artificial sweetener or something like that, weed, no. It just seems like get some character, right? Because I know, like, drinking a cup of coffee is just like, it's a very easy way to feel alive, okay? I don't want to be moralized to by some motherfucker with a platinum Honkai Star Rail account just because I'm having an oat milk latte, okay? Be like, actually, relying on any chemicals for your happiness is a sign of weakness. Okay, motherfucker. Let me see your search history then. Let me see what kind of chemicals you're relying on. I just don't buy it. Not on Twitch. If we were up in some Buddhist temple, you know, in the mountains of Asia or something like that, and someone was like, I found inner peace. The secret is not talking and closing your eyes for 2 hours a morning. I would be like, okay, maybe you got it all figured out. But if some, like, you know, 21-year-old in Twitch chat is like, here's the secret to life, I'm like, brother, you haven't even hit new game yet. Your ass still in the damn tutorial. And you're like, I'm pretty sure the secret is blah. Well, I almost lit someone up on Twitter last night, too. Because I want to play CS2. Counter-Strike 2, that is. Not Cookie Swirl C2. Now, I don't have access to the beta. Fair enough. And the reason for that is because they opened it way up to lots more people, but you need an active rank. I don't have an active rank because I haven't played competitively in a long time. Someone replied and said, sorry, NL, you have to win 10 games, which will never happen. You'll have to wait till they open it for everybody. I was like, brother, I was typing out a reply that was going to eviscerate this 21-year-old kid. I was going to say, I was Gold Nova 1 when your ass was still begging mom to drive you to the convenience store so you could buy 2 pieces of gum, you sack of shit. Think the world started in 2008 when you were born? Some of us were out here grinding when you were just a twinkle in your mom's eye. You're trying to big brother me? Sorry, little bro, you need to win 10 games first. You couldn't even count the 10 when I was Gold Nova 1, okay? Because you weren't alive. It's not an insult to your intelligence. You were literally like -4. Have some respect. You know, the Peloton, at the end of the day, is simply a tool. You know, it doesn't revolutionize bike riding. The real advantages of the Peloton are not like, whoa, the $2,000 bike is like, you know, it's completely changed the way that I cycle. The main revolution is that, like, the classes are good, plus it's in my room, so, like, every day I don't have an excuse to not get on it, which made it insanely easy to fall into the habit of it. You know, you never have a day where you wake up like 10 minutes late and you're like, oh, now traffic's gonna be bad on the way to the gym, I'm gonna have to park further away, the machines that I use are gonna be like, occupied now, like maybe I'll just skip today. You're like, oh, I woke up 10 minutes late. I guess I'll just cut 10 minutes off of my, you know, bowel movement and then, you know, hop on the damn saddle. Plus, there's a real thrill to passing people nonstop when they have the thin blue line avatar with the Punisher face. It really makes me feel good about myself, and that's probably like an indictment of my own moral character, but it feels like you're winning. When you're like, I'm faster than you, and we wouldn't get along in real life, I just won twice. Hit me to the next round. You know what's crazy is also being away for like 2 weeks. I gotta remember that the inside jokes I've become used to are not inside jokes with you. They're like inside jokes with my family. Like if I say, you owe me $3, you're not gonna know what the fuck I'm talking about. That shit is already in the automatic routine of my brain. That's an inside joke that me and my wife have with our daughter. $3, I can't. Don't lie to me, because I'm the thing. I've been dealing with honest communication, not this irony-steeped level of insanity. So my ass is primed to believe you right now when you say insane shit like that. He did not just do the $3 thing. Maybe this is a hot take. It's gonna sound anti-writer, but it's actually extremely pro-writer. You just have to look between the lines. I don't think it's that tough to make like an 8 out of 10 or better TV show. I bet what happens most of the time, source, I made it up, is they wrote like an 8 to a 9 out of 10 show, and then people with no creative bones in their body were like, hey, that part that's like really cool where we spend like 2 episodes building like a great moment, we gotta cut all that shit out and put in like a scene where they dance to Boogie Wonderland by Earth, Wind, and Fire. And you're like, well, it kind of like ruins the pacing of the show. And they're like, yeah, but they got Boogie Wonderland. Or a scene where the character's just F. No, that's usually important. Don't make me go down this track again, where people are like, you know, they're treating sex scenes the same way they treat like jump scares in horror movies, where like they're invalid because they don't make it into the Wikipedia synopsis of the plot. You fucking idiots. Sorry, I feel somewhat, not very strongly, but somewhat strongly about this issue. You plot cell motherfuckers grew up watching too much cinema sins. Watch 500 hours of YouTube a month, 2 movies, and then have the audacity to say, what's your letterbox account, motherfuckers? Makes me sick. Out-of-state travelers quarantine 14 days. Sorry, that's... Shit drives me crazy. I know we're still living in this era. I got nothing against the regulations, okay? Just my current flavoring, if I had to tell you what the dominant flavor of the 2020s is, every time I go to a public bathroom, which is all the time because my kid keeps trying to poop in her pants, please wash your hands for 20 seconds. You must wash your hands for 20 seconds with scalding hot water in order to prevent the flow of disease. Meanwhile, the sink has 2 dribbles of water that come out. And I'm like, why is the sink so fucking slow? Please think of the environment. We here at Yum Brands have signed a pledge to minimize our water usage simultaneously. And so I'm like, 20 seconds is like 3 drops of water. And then I'm like, and then I go to the paper towel dispenser. I get 1 little postage stamp. Meanwhile, Colonel Sanders' great-great-great-grandniece is flying over my head in her own Boeing 747. I'm just saying, you got to pick one, okay? You got to pick whether we're washing our hands for 20 seconds, vigorously getting under the nails, et cetera, or you got to choose your green initiative. You can't have them both at the same time. You got to advertise one or the other. Maybe we could stop using water to wash our hands. Why don't you isn't soda really cheap? Couldn't we be washing our hands in like Coke Zero or something? I had another thought that occurred to me while I was on vacation, okay? Look at what mankind has done in our existence on the earth. We went from smashing 2 rocks together just to see a spark. We put people on the moon. Why are we still eating food that tastes like food existed a million years ago? You know, I get that, the bananas are sweeter now because of artificial selection, and the strawberries are sweeter, and the beef is bigger because we use antibiotics and hormones and stuff like that. But shouldn't there be some motherfuckers in a lab with molecular chemistry cooking up flavors that we can't possibly conceive of? Why are we got these eggheads in lab coats that are like, boom, check it out. It's an extract that tastes just like a raspberry. Bro, are you kidding me? Get it, do some alchemy in the lab, come up with a new flavor. Don't come up with some shit that's like, check it out, it's an ester that tastes just like bananas. Fucking get creative. You got all you got the chiral forms and the molecular models and shit like that. Cook up something interesting, man. I don't want, artificial apple. Give me some jazz. Give me some shit where, like, when I eat it, I go, what the fuck is that? It tastes amazing. And they're like, we don't know. We just made it. We looked at how the molecules trigger the senses on your tongue and your taste buds and stuff like that, and we created a brand new flavor that God himself could not have conceived of. We're the Oppenheimers of molecular gastronomy. Instead of feeling this shit is always like, we made the chicken saltier. Come on, man, get creative. I will say, even though my daughter got me up insanely early this morning, she did have a very cute bit last night. She saw mommy do this, and then she said, pinch my nose. So I pinched her nose, and then she said, SpongeBob. She has no concept of who Squidward is, but she knows that if you say SpongeBob in a very nasal voice, it always gets a laugh. So we did that for about 45 minutes. It is. I'll also say having a conversation with other parents is like socialization on easy mode. First off, they have not talked to another adult seriously for since their child was born. What is this? She kisses me windy, bro. What is this, Matt? Secondly, you have automatic shared interests because you have a child that's like probably roughly around the same age, even if they're not the same age. If they're older, you can be like, I remember, or if they're younger, you'd be like, I remember what that phase was like. And if they're older, you're like, so what can we look forward to coming ahead? It's not like when, you're in college or something and everybody's like 19 or 20, and then like everybody's hobbies are watching movies, but you gotta like pretend you're more interesting than that. I've never asked another parent, like, what are your hobbies? I know what your hobbies are. It's fucking making 2 grilled cheeses and then eating 1.5. Shadow Flower, I think of you while waiting in the rain. Take me away as I am exhausted in the dark. This shit is so funny. It's not the game's fault, it's my fault. I recognize that, but like I basically don't know who she is. It's like that, or the stuff that came out in Discovery during the Theranos trial, where Elizabeth Holmes texted her boyfriend and was like, you are my sun and my moon. You are my everything. Every day I fall deeper into love with you. And then the dude replied, okay. Oh, man. She's like, I'll be with you always. And I was like, I thought you were just the level up dispenser. I didn't realize that we were going steady or whatever. Your ass was like a damn Souls vending machine for me. They should have the people who make snacks name the drugs. And the people who name the drugs name the snacks. So instead of like, hydrocodone, they would call it like cloudy pill. And you'd be like, oh, I get it. It's cloudy pill. That evokes probably what the feeling is like. I don't know. I've never really done like a painkiller. And then Lay's salt and vinegar chips would be known as thinly sliced potatoes plus maltodextrin powdered 2,3- chloroquinine chiral form open parenthesis hydrobenzodiazepine. Like I don't want to get summoned for jury duty, but I think if I were summoned, I would treat it so solemnly. Like I would follow that shit to the letter of the damn law. But I think as soon as I told them my job, they would be like, there's no shot. Like, what? Okay, Mr. Letourneau, what do you do for work? I absent-mindedly rant for like 5 hours a day live about whatever's currently going on in my life. Like, oh, could you avoid discussing any pertinent deals of the case with 7,000 strangers online? I would be like, I could try. You ever watch those Korean coffee shop videos? No, motherfucker. I don't know what to say after. I was going to say I'm normal, but that's obviously false. But no, I don't even like go to the coffee shop. This shit drives me crazy. Okay, I've lived in Korea. I've been to Japan many times. Like all these videos, like a motherfucker goes to 7-Eleven and it's all like ASMR. Like you can hear the camera running. It's always like a nice deep tone that's just always in the background. And then you see like a dude's hand pick up like the shittiest looking instant food of all time and describe it as if it's like a Michelin starred meal. Corn dog in ketchup mayonnaise. A nice salty American style snack. 390 yen. And then you see him like open the package and then put it into the microwave. Beep, beep, beep. and then like a slurry of garbage comes out, and it opens it up, and the steam like burns his hands and shit like that, and then he's like, squishy and meaty. This is truly delicious. And then all the people in the comments are like, oh my God, your life is like a movie. I'm like, what the fuck what is wrong with us, man? I'm not hating on the guy making the content. Like, that's all okay. I'm just like, I've lived that lifestyle. I've gone to the GS25 in South Korea when I didn't speak English and bought like a fucking bologna and a packet of Ritz crackers. I ate that shit with all my winter clothes on, burning the fuck up, sitting there at the bar inside of the GS25. No, my life was like a movie. It was like Lost in Translation, age 21 edition. It was not like Kimi no Nawa or something like that. It's true. No one ever does that shit with like, Afghanistan. There's never like 8 dudes eating stew in the mountains, yucking it up, laughing with each other. All the comments are like, wow, I wish that was me and my buddies. This shit's always like just you lonely looking at your phone in like a rain-soaked Tokyo neon metropolis. I want to go in the mountains and eat some stew, dude, with my boys. I don't want to eat a damn microwaved hamburger in the 7-Eleven by myself. People will do that and be like, oh, dude, I'm in my Cowboy Bebop arc right now. No, you're not, bro. You're cultivating heart disease. Now we're talking. I mean, we got 3 queens for sure, just like Destiny's Child. After they fired that fucking lady, right? I played probably 50 hours of Dead by Daylight. Most of it was with the NLSS, but I did play a little bit with some other people, with Sinnoh and John Wolf. I played a little bit with Kate as well. And in Dead by Daylight, I'm so happy I got out before there was like, when I was playing, it was literally just play hide and seek with your friends. At some point, they turned it into an esport, and that's where everything fell apart for me, because I would play Dead by Daylight, and then people would be in the chat, both on Twitch and in game, that would be like, no, you can't camp the hook. Oh, really? You're just gonna circle around the hook after placing me on the hook? Don't you know there's an unwritten rule in the competitive meta of Dead by Daylight, which is you're not allowed to have fun anymore? It's considered the honor system. You have to abandon the hook, and then, oh, you're running Deadhead perk? Wow, really? Imagine playing as the nurse and running Deadhead perk. And I'm like, buddy, I don't know what. I literally clicked on all the gold hexagons. That's it. When I played it, it was just like you chase someone, you do Ring Around the Rosie, they hide in a bush, you don't notice them hide in a bush, and then everybody laughs at you for not having good peripheral vision. Nowadays, everything is 0.75 extra % chance to get a perfect QuickTime event, which makes the generators fix 3% faster, and then you fix the generator and the killers in all chat. Oh, really? You're trying to fix generators? You're going for a generator win? Little cheesy to go for a generator win, isn't it? You shouldn't have Alon. You should just have Clover. It supports the natural ecosystem. Listen, motherfucker, okay? You know how people say tipping culture went too far? Too fast? And as a reaction to that, now people are like, I'm never tipping on anything. People don't want to hear it, but that's kind of where I'm at with like the increasing moralization of every process on Earth. Like, you got to take it bit by bit. There's a lot of things wrong with the world, okay? There's a lot of structures in place that keep horrible people in power. We got to dismantle that, okay? Just leave the lawns alone so we can focus on the big problems first. Because as soon as you're like, every time you talk to somebody, you're like, I was mowing my lawn. They're like, mowing your lawn? Oh, you have grass? Actually, did you know grass is bad for the environment? It's all fucking bad, bro. We got to focus on the stuff that's heinous first. And then we can start to work. It's like someone's unhealthy and you're like, well, the secret to running a marathon is this. No, just fucking go for a walk first, okay? Once we master the walking and we normalize that for ourselves, then we can start planting clover and stuff like that. It's not mutually exclusive. Yeah, but your ass isn't doing any of it. And then when I say that, you're like, well, I apologize for the fact that I can't buy a house because of the housing crisis. And I'm like, literally, you're just building a box where you yourself are you know, spinning your way out of all criticism whatsoever and just deflecting it upwards. Like it's out of control. You got to be something I can criticize you for. You're criticizing me for going outside, you know, once every 2 weeks and going. Bzzz. Meanwhile, we got a fucking garden in the back. Bees are flying all over it, going pollinating fucking all over the place. Meanwhile, now we're in a world 35% is the minimum tip on takeout. And grass is canceled. Can we just start with making sure that John Riccitelli is no longer the CEO of Unity tomorrow, and then work backwards from there? I brought him back. It took a minute, but I brought him back. And now, why are you so terrified of there being 1 minute without action on the screen? Because Gen Z has routinely showed us that if they're ever bored, they hit the skip 30 seconds button, and if they're bored twice, they go down to the video player and they hit go to 2x speed. And if they don't have a 2x speed down there, then they get me on the right monitor, the game on the main monitor, the phone in their right hand, chicken tenders on a plate, and it's a good way to live, don't get me wrong. Music in the AirPods, idling in 25 different Discord servers at exactly the same time. Literally me. It can't be you because you heard what I said. And I didn't sound like this. It didn't sound like I was talking in 2 speed. Really, honestly, I think we should buy the chicken here. I think we should probably. I'd really like to make a raccoon work. But honestly, every time I buy the raccoon, I haven't seemed to found the opportunity to make a raccoon work, unfortunately. Meanwhile, these same people who are like, wow, NL sounds so weird on 1x speed. They're like, hey, will you do a 100% playthrough of Baldur's Gate 3? It's only 180 hours long. No, it's 180 hours long for me. It's 45 hours long for you because your ass is watching me in 4x speed, but I don't have those time dilation powers like you do. This is actually going to be our professions in the Emmett Shear era of OpenAI. I don't know about you guys. I'm trying to stay on the robot's good side so I can maybe be the employee of the month in the CAPTCHA mines, spending 18 hours a day clicking the squares that have traffic lights in them, and then all like the human beings try to unionize, and I'm like, bro, come on. I'd like, unions make sense, but like not for us, man. Not for us. Like the robots treat us pretty good here. We get our glucose slurry for free. We don't even have to bring our own glucose slurry from home. They've got sparkling water on tap, LaCroix in the fridge. Come on, man. Lots of places don't have this. If we unionize, they're going to take away the glucose slurry. I can't go back to ham sandwiches. I was laughing so hard when I picked my daughter up from daycare yesterday. Our daughters, you know, there's great irony in this, of course, for how much I've railed on picky eaters. My daughter is a pretty picky eater. I might even say a very picky eater. So we've been having struggles getting her to eat vegetables. Fruit's pretty okay, but vegetables, like it's a genuine struggle. She hates pretty much like all vegetables except French fries. And she thinks that French fries, I don't know how she got this idea, she thinks that French fries are made of honey. Like whenever I'm like, do you like potato? She's like, yeah, and then I'm like, but French fries are made of potato. And then she says, no, Daddy, honey. I don't know where she got this idea, but either way, when I picked her up from daycare yesterday, the daycare worker was like, I made them all vegetable lasagna today, and they all ate it. And I was like, really? She ate it? And she's like, yeah. It had eggplants, mushrooms, zucchini, tomato sauce, cheese, and my mind was blown. So I got her in the car, and I was like, honey, did you like the eggplant, or did you like the lasagna? And she went, ew, yucky. And I said, but they said you ate it. And then she just said, like, without missing a beat, she was like, I took one bite. You gotta remember, this is not a teenager, this is a 2-year-old. For her to construct a sentence like that is very impressive. It was cracking me up. Because the daycare worker was so excited. She's like, yeah, she ate it. And I got her in the car, I took one bite. Yeah! I'm turning 50. I've been watching NL since I was 8. Is there like an opposite of a leap year? Are you a dog? What's going on here? Bird food? Honestly, you got a weird connection with salads. When I eat a salad, I'm not in the restaurant waiting for everyone to give me a standing ovation. I'm not waiting for people to say, "Oh my God, did you see that middle-aged man ordered a salad? He's like God's strongest soldier." I just want a salad. I don't know if Kate, we eat one-on-one all the time. Sometimes Kate will be like, "I'll have the pub burger, please," and I'll say, "Hey, can I have like the chopped salad?" I don't think Kate has ever once replied like, "Oh, so you think you're better than me?" It's just food. It's just, you gotta stop. He will not divide us, okay? You gotta stop looking for reasons to hate people. There's enough that you can find that are legitimate. You don't need to make up your own ones with artifice. I never thought that. The only time I think I'm better than someone at a restaurant is when they order something that's all ready for kids, like a hamburger, and then they make a substitution that's crazy. Like, can I get that with no lettuce, onion, or tomatoes? Then I'm like, well, I think I'm better than this guy. A lot of people are saying, can you play a real game? Gamers, I get that you're making a joke. The main problem is that it's not funny. The second part is that you're doing it from an indefensible position. What is a real game? League of Legends, where you as a fucking hot wizard stand behind a wall of little monsters, and you stand there and go tick 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 tick, not attacking anything, even though there's obviously monsters coming for your base. Tick 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 tick. Boom! I got the last hit. My kill. My kill. Tick 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 tick. Boom! I got it. I got it. No, someone else on my team killed a monster that I was supposed to kill. That's gonna affect my ability to generate gold by 0.75% cumulatively for the rest of the game. It's gonna slow down my ability to get a battle fury. I rage. I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. I quit. Everybody. F. That's a real game? That's a waste of your one life on planet Earth, brother. Get real. This must be the dude who was guarding Jeffrey Epstein's cell. Situational awareness was not all that. Sorry, I'm obsessed with Chibli apparently, but like last week I was in Chibli's chat and just out of nowhere someone posted a link to pornography and they were like a known chatter and then they left no other messages the whole stream. Like they must have had it in the clipboard and been so embarrassed. But then like the link, because I'm a mod in his chat, I could go back and see the message after it got deleted, but the link was like so decroded. It was like xtits.com/ like busty dash redhead dash rides. Like it was such like it's not the first link you see. That's like he's been in the cave for a while and was like, I gotta save this one. What happened to shame? So true. And then I think they popped it in the chat and then we're like, oh, and then like just close the tab, delete Twitch account. Like I'm gone forever. There's no recovering from that. You could just laugh about it. I think I would be laughing about it. I'd be horrified for like, but why are you putting it in the clipboard? Like that's when you've reached that's the more embarrassing thing about it, in my opinion. Is that you put it in the clipboard because either you're going to share it with somebody else, which is just weird to me, or you were like, oh, I'm leaving the office, but I want to make sure that I can like have this at home or something, which is also crazy to me. Like it's not embarrassing, except that you took it like one level too far. Like why are you saving the link for later? You know why? I'm coming up with what I consider to be plausible hypotheses, but I don't know why. I really hope that they were giving it to themselves for later, and there isn't like I know that these probably exist, but I'm choosing to believe in the goodness of mankind, that there wasn't like, he's like, oh, I gotta show this to the boys in Discord later. This video made me come really hard. They gotta know. That's unhinged. It wasn't me that did it. I'm just dealing with the consequences. Bro, 7 years ago is a third of my life. Bro, who cares? Sorry. That was unnecessarily Rude. Don't get me wrong. But, like, I already gone through that shit myself. I've been 21. Whoa, something that happened 8 years ago was like more than a third of my life ago. Holy shit. Okay, yeah, well, talk to me in 10 years. 7 years was just like last week for me. Things change, man. I get it. You're 21. Congratulations. You already have like every other advantage in the world. What do you want me to say? Like, so everyone, please acknowledge there's a 21-year-old in chat. Why don't you just go out and train for like 3 weeks and run a marathon? Why don't you like fall down and skin your knee and then wake up the next day and you can't even find where the abrasion is because your superhuman healing factor kicked in? Why don't you invest in a portfolio of 100% equities because your time horizon is so high you don't need bonds to provide balance? You can simply aim for the highest risk-adjusted returns historically provided by a portfolio with that level of risk. Ooh, that's me. I'm 21. Just buy good headphones? No, act broke, stay rich. And by act broke, I mean buy the cheapest headphones in Best Buy, figure out that they don't work at all, and then be too lazy to go back and return them. Because when you ordered it, when you got it from Best Buy, the guy said, you want a receipt? And I said, no receipt's good. Actually, even worse, they say, emailed receipt or paper receipt? And then I reply like a smartass, no receipt's okay. And then I fucking headphones, they probably work, but they don't really work well for me, and I can't bring it back to customer service because I didn't get a piece of paper that confirms that I bought it. Steel Series is still watching if you want a hookup. Okay, but just like, I'm not going to give you my address. We could arrange, and I'm not going to do any shilling, but if you want to give me some headphones, just drop off drop a box of your best headphones at the statue of Gassy Jack at 10:17 p.m. tomorrow. And I will go pick it up, okay? My sword or my pan? My sword? My sword. Okay, I'm willing to do that. This thing is never moving. Just so you know, I'm not. This is the foundation. This is like the Acropolis, okay? It's a UNESCO heritage site. We can't do anything. This is like a fucking method you wrote on day 3 of your project, and you don't really know what it does anymore, but you call it inside of every other method, and if you ever comment that line out, the shit stops working, okay? We're not touching this ever again. If you want somebody to alter this, you gotta fire me, hire a new guy who comes in fresh out of college and is like, this isn't clean code, and then he tries to refactor it and breaks the whole fucking thing, okay? I'm just saying, when I go out in public, like there's, even at PAX, I might get stopped by like a person, and then when I'm talking to that person, I get stopped by another person. Like I can see someone else waiting to be next to talk to me, but the most it ever gets is it rolls 2 or 3 people deep. And I can clock them a mile away. Mid-20s to mid-30s male, facial hair, graphic t-shirt, khaki shorts. It's like, I'm like, smiling at him on the street. I'm like, here we go. Here we go. We love the Zelda Triforce t-shirt wearing khaki shorts gamers, don't we, folks? Much better than the no-good New York Yankees. I think I gave my college girlfriend the ick. She knew I played Rock Band, but I don't think she knew how much we played. And one day she came over, and we just happened to be like mid-song on that point, and it was one of like, it was a hard song on Expert, and she had no frame of reference for it, and I just remember her saying like, wow, you guys are really good at this game. And the connotation was like, what am I doing with this schlub? Gave my college girlfriend the ick getting gold stars and Tom Sawyer drums. She was probably like, I thought this guy was cool. I didn't realize that's what they're doing over. He lived in a house with 6 other guys. They had like this mysterious aura. Then I came over and fucking shattered it when all they were doing was playing Smash 64 and Rock Band. I wonder what those 7 dudes are doing in the house all the time. It must be pretty cool. Bro, no edge guarding his Pikachu, you fucking nerd. Spikes only! We said spikes only! Glug, 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 glug. Anyway.